Hello to my 160 subscribers. I love you all. Thanks for subscribing. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Arena. And thanks for joining in my journey. Please do subscribe and like this video. So, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing about my experience and mistakes to avoid while trekking to Mardi Himal, which we obviously made. So, here are 10 things to avoid while trekking in Mardi Himal. I went for the Mardi trekking around like mid of October, so what we have planned for the whole Mardi trekking was that on day 1 we would fly from Kathmandu to Pokhara, and then we would take bus from Pokhara to Thampus. Then from Thampus we would start our hiking. So it would be hiking from Thampus to Pothana to Deorali to Forest Camp, where we plan to stay for the day 1. And for day 2 we have planned hiking from Forest Camp to Low Camp and hike to High Camp. And then me and my friend Sudhi, which you have met on my previous videos, so me and Sudhi have planned to go to the viewpoint and sleep the night there on the tent, while the rest of the group would sleep at High Camp and then go to the viewpoint on the next morning. So watch the video and see the mistakes that we made and learn the 10 things to avoid while trekking in Mardi Himal. So on day 1 we had our flight at 6:50 a.m. from Kathmandu to Pokhara. So it was really early morning. We didn't have even much breakfast, and then my dad told us that he would like drop us to the airport. So we were chill, and then we packed everything up, and then when he was about to start the car broke down because the battery wasn't working. So we were in a really big hurry, and I had to call the taxi. I was skeptical about like getting a taxi because I didn't know if I could get any taxi early in that morning. So thankfully, fortunately, I did get a taxi, right? So me, my mom, and my sister, we went on the taxi, and on the midway to the airport, I remember that we forgot to bring one of our suitcases. And then we had to rush back and call my dad to bring the luggage outside our home. And he was mad about that. So things to avoid: number 1, don't forget your suitcase. Don't forget any of your things. Make sure you have packed everything that you need, and don't forget anything before your flight or your ride. After we picked the bag, we were like only 5 minutes away from the flight time, and we were rushing to the airport. So we met my friend Sudhi at the airport, and then we were rushing to get on the plane. Thankfully, we got on the plane.
Another day, another slave. Period.
And then we flew to Pokhara. So there's 6 of us total going on this trip. Me, my sister, my mom, my friend Sudhi, and then my uncle and aunt. So there's 6 of us. We left this carry-on suitcase at Pokhara, got ready with our hiking gears, and met my uncle and aunt at Pokhara. And then we hopped on this minivan that was empty because the driver told us they could give a ride to Thampus, where our hike would start from. But then we got to Fady. They backed out, telling that they can't go any more further because the road is bad. So yeah, we hiked upwards to Thampus, where we could see some reserved bus going to Thampus. So things to avoid: number 2, walking from Fady to Thampus, unless you want to walk some extra miles. So make sure to get a bus that takes you from Pokhara to Thampus. Here we are at Thampus, relaxing after walking for almost 3 hours, when we could have drove all the way to Thampus. We relaxed at this place and ordered our food. Me and Sudhi had this noodle soup with bhuza. After we had our lunch, we were ready to get on with our journey. We walked from Thampus to Potana. Over here, we mistakenly took the route to Australian camp. So things to avoid: number 3, Australian camp, unless that's where you're planning on going. We walked uphill to Australian camp and walked downhill to get to Potana when we could have walked easily from Thampus to Potana in a shorter time. So carry a map and stick to your route. We got to Deorali from Potana where we had some tea and snacks. At this time the weather got gloomy. The tea shop owner of this place suggested we stay at Lovely Hill instead of Forest Camp, as the sun was about to go down soon and Forest Camp was still a long walk. We decided to do that as we were really tired and had already walked for 9 hours for the day.
Day 2.
So we got to the hotel suggested by the tea shop owner right before the night hit, and it started to rain all night. We were really tired and a lot of us had even started to reconsider this trip. It was still drizzling in the morning and we had our doubts about the hike, but we still decided to keep on hiking after we saw some people hike with plastic raincoats. Watching them gave us hope. So after we had our breakfast, we went and started our hike. We went and got some plastic raincoat. We put them on and started to hike. We got to Forest Camp where we stopped at to have lunch. All the hikers were really drenched in the rain. We took off our jackets, socks, and as you can see, hang them to dry sitting around the fireplace. So things to avoid: number 4, not checking the weather app. Go through your weather app, check the weather before planning the trek, and if you still want to make that trip, make sure to be fully prepared and carry raincoat and waterproof jacket and pants.
1 eternity later.
So Diksha, we finally reached high camp. मेरो यहाँ साइड को दुखिरहेछ है.
This was one of the worst days of our life.
हो त्यसै हो. Like
I was fucking wet. Not in a good way. Like literally.
We were having a really rough day at our day 2. It was because of the leeches. Hiking in the forest, there are chances of leeches, and when it rained, it tripled the chances. So almost everyone who hiked that day got bitten by a leech. So things to avoid: number 5, leeches. Carry a small bag of salt along the hike. Sprinkle them when you see one.
Day 3.
Packing for our hike camp right now. We left the tent, sleeping bag, and some extra weight off of our bag and left it at the hotel. We gave away the idea of camping at the viewpoint because of the weather. So things to avoid: number 6, unnecessary weight. Make sure to pack lightly so it makes the trekking easier for you.
हजुरहरु कहाँ जान लाग्नु भएको? ए पानी त मजाले परिरहेको रहेछ. Hi, what's up, Sudiksha?
Nothing is going on.
Are you excited?
I'm constipated. I'm eating aloo chana since 2 days. Don't ask me
Survival
how
mode.
I am.
Go silly.
Most of the people there were returning after they didn't see the view from the high camp and the viewpoint, but we still stuck to our plan and kept on moving.
We are all from Badal Dada and heading towards high camp. And this is the view. I mean, it's still raining and it might still rain heavy tonight, but we are our Babi and your team. god, it's so beautiful. We're in the middle of the clouds. We're in the middle. And the road is kind of
Muddy. Yeah. Slippery.
many people were demotivated because the view is kind of cloudy, but I guess it will clear up on Wednesday or Thursday. So this is the update. Yo, outfit for the day. And wait, let me show my face. I'm literally inside the bus. Go there.
हेलो किन यस्तो टाइम लाउनु भयो हजुरहरूले हामी त भिज्दै भिजेन नि हामी राम्रो टाइममै हिँड्यौँ
Later that same evening.
Oh my god, कस्तो राम्रो माथि 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 अझै माथि. Oh my god, कस्तो.
Camera doesn't look any fucking interesting. It's like hanging around. I'm slow. I'm so glad I made this trip. Oh fuck. Things to avoid. Number 7, forgetting to bring a portable charger. When we hiked higher up from Badal Dada, people will start charging you for charging your phones. Everybody's charging their phones, so while waiting for your turn, your battery is probably gonna die off.
Day 4.
Hi, Sadiksha. How's the view?
यता हामी यत्रो हिँड्यो 3 दिन पानीमा हिँडेर है फाइनली totally worth it.
Things to avoid. Number 8, trusting your phone's flashlight. You will need a headlight or a torchlight while you are hiking from high camp to viewpoint around 3 a.m. in the morning. Bring a torchlight because it's gonna help you see a lot more clearer in the dark and will show you the way, because using only the phone's flashlight will just drain your battery. Things to avoid. Number 9, as I said on the advice number 7, prices will hike when you go higher and higher, and when you reach to the viewpoint, there's no exception. Simple current noodles is gonna cost you like almost 500 rupees. So what we did was like we brought cup noodles and 3-in-1 coffee from Kathmandu, brought hot water from the high camp hotel, so we used it to make the 3-in-1 coffee and the cup noodles, which we ate over there. And lastly, things to avoid number 10. A friend of mine went to Mardi Himal around October and it was really busy. He couldn't get any places to live, so he had to sleep in a kitchen of a hotel. So just in case, book for the hotels in advances so you don't have to suffer later on. And that's it for the video.
What do I have to say to keep you by my side? Heart is starting to liquefy. Need you here to tell me that I'll be